Carla pays $228 a month for car insurance on a 2014 Honda Civic. 3 years, 0 claims. Her car is worth $7,400 today. After her $1,200 deductible, the maximum payout she could ever receive is $6,200. Last year, she paid $2,736 in premiums to protect that $6,200 check. She is spending 37 cents for every dollar of real protection she is buying. The math stopped working 2 years ago. She just never looked. Her neighbor Owen earns $94,000 a year. He has a wife, 2 kids under 7, a $240,000 mortgage, and a $38,000 annual income gap between what his family spends and what his wife earns alone. He has a $150,000 life insurance policy, the one he enrolled in during his first week at his job 8 years ago, and never updated. If Owen dies tomorrow, that $150,000 covers less than 4 years of his family's income shortfall. Before the mortgage, before college, before anything. Within 5 years, his family faces financial collapse. Owen pays $14 a month and considers himself covered. Carla is massively overinsured on a depreciating asset. Owen is massively underinsured on the single risk that would destroy his family. Both are doing exactly what most Americans do. They set their insurance up once, walked away, and let it sit untouched while their entire financial life changed around it. Here is the framework the insurance industry never teaches you because if you understood it, they would make far less money. The only question that matters. Insurance is not a savings vehicle. It is not an investment. It is a risk transfer tool. You pay a company to absorb a specific financial loss if a specific event happens. Every insurance decision comes down to one question. Can I absorb this loss myself? If yes, the loss is manageable and recoverable, stop paying someone else to absorb it. If no, the loss would be catastrophic and unrecoverable, you need to be transferring that risk aggressively. And you are probably paying far too little right now. Most people have this backwards. They overinsure small, recoverable losses and underinsure catastrophic ones. They pay monthly premiums to protect against things they could handle from savings, while carrying dangerously inadequate coverage on the events that would actually ruin them. Carla's problem: paying premium prices on a shrinking asset. Comprehensive and collision coverage makes sense when a car is new or high value. Replacing a $40,000 vehicle out of pocket is genuinely catastrophic. That is a real risk worth transferring. But cars depreciate and coverage does not adjust automatically. The insurer pays its actual cash value. For Carla's 2014 Civic, that is $7,400. Subtract her $1,200 deductible, and the largest check she can ever receive is $6,200. She paid $2,736 this year to protect that $6,200 payout. Her break-even point where accumulated premiums equal her maximum payout passed 2 years ago. Every dollar she pays now is pure profit for the insurer. The standard rule: when your annual comprehensive and collision premium exceeds 10% of the car's current market value, that coverage has stopped making financial sense. Carla is paying 37% of her car's value annually. What she needs is liability-only coverage. Liability protects against the loss she genuinely cannot absorb, injuring another person, damaging their property, or facing a lawsuit from an at-fault accident. A serious accident can generate $500,000 or more in damages. That is worth paying to transfer. Liability only costs Carla roughly $60 to $80 a month instead of $228. She is paying $150 extra every month, $1,800 every year, for a policy capped at $6,200 she could cover from savings. Redirect that $1,800 annually into an index fund, and at 8% growth over 10 years, that single decision compounds to roughly $11,600. That is the real cost of one unrevisited auto policy. Owen's problem: Coverage that never grew up. Owen enrolled in his employer's life insurance his first week at a new job. He saw $14 a month, clicked yes, and moved on. 8 years later, he is married with 2 children, owns a home, and carries financial obligations completely unrecognizable from who he was at 26. His coverage has not moved an inch. The dime method debt, income replacement, mortgage, education is the right framework for calculating life insurance need. Add your outstanding debts, multiply your annual income by the years until your youngest child is financially independent. Add your remaining mortgage, then add estimated college costs per child. For Owen, $28,000 in remaining debt plus $94,000 multiplied by 15 years, $1 million. $410,000 plus $240,000 remaining mortgage plus $200,000 for 2 children's education. Total need, approximately $1,878,000. Owen has $150,000. He is covered for 8 cents on every dollar his family would actually need. If he dies this year, his wife receives $150,000. The mortgage stays. The income gap remains. College is unfunded. That money is gone inside 4 years, and then the real crisis begins. Term life insurance is one of the cheapest products available for healthy adults in their 30s. Owen is 34, a non-smoker, no significant health conditions. A 20-year, $1,500,000 term policy costs approximately $65 to $80 a month. He pays $14 for $150,000. He could cover his family's actual need for $51 to $66 more per month, less than 1 dinner out per week. He does not have it because nobody told him his need had changed, and he never went looking. 2 more gaps that drain people quietly. Extended warranties. When you spend $1,200 on a laptop and the cashier offers a 2-year protection plan for $200, most people say yes. They should not. Extended warranties carry profit margins of 50 to 60%. For every $200 plan sold, the company expects to pay roughly $80 in claims. You are overpaying by 60 cents on every dollar. Most plans begin after the manufacturer's warranty expires, meaning the first year, when most defects appear, is already covered free. A broken laptop is painful. It is not catastrophic. If you have an emergency fund, stop paying someone else to cover it. Disability insurance. The Social Security Administration estimates 1 in 4 20-year-olds will become disabled before retirement age. A serious illness or injury that stops you from working is statistically far more likely than dying in your 30s. Yet most people either carry no long-term disability coverage or have never read the policy they enrolled in during their first week at work. Long-term disability coverage costs roughly 1 to 3% of your annual salary. For Owen, at $94,000, that is $78 to $235 a month. He has paid for life insurance for 8 years while leaving his most statistically likely catastrophic risk completely uncovered. The 40-minute annual audit. Run this once a year. Step 1. List every insurance policy you carry and its monthly cost. Total your annual spend. Step 2. For every vehicle, divide your annual comprehensive and collision premium by the car's current market value. If the result exceeds 10%, the math has turned against you. Step 3. Run the dime calculation. If you have dependents, a mortgage, and a gap larger than $200,000, price a 20-year term policy today. Healthy people in their 30s will be surprised by how affordable it is. Step 4. Pull your disability insurance documents. Read the elimination period, the benefit period, and the income replacement percentage. If you have never read them, you do not actually know what you are covered for. Step 5. Cancel every extended warranty on items under $1,000 that you could replace from savings. Redirect that money toward a real coverage gap. Carla is switching to liability only this week and redirecting $150 a month toward an index fund. Owen is pricing a $1,500,000 term policy and reading his disability documents for the first time. Carla is ending a payment that stopped making sense 2 years ago. Owen is starting one that should have begun when his first child was born. The insurance industry runs on inertia, on auto renewals, on default enrollments, on the policy you set up once and forgot about while your life changed completely around it. The audit takes 40 minutes. The math is not complicated. The only expensive thing about insurance is refusing to look at it. If this video helped you find a gap in your own coverage, subscribe to Wealth Logic and hit the notification bell. Next up, the savings account millions of Americans fund every year that quietly works against them at tax time. Check your own before you watch it.